When you get ready to administer the Microsoft Office Specialist certification exams, you want to make sure before you get to actual exam day that you do have your students go to Certiport.com and register. They will register as a test taker, so you'll see the when you get to the Certiport homepage, you'll see the button right up here where it says log in and register. They'll click on that, and we'll come over here to new users, set up a new account, and they will work their way through. And again, make sure they set up as a test taker or as a student. It may ask them for an address, and they can either use their own home address or they can use the school's address. Doesn't make any difference. Whatever you want to use or want them to use. Also, I've had several schools that when students go and set up their account, they will use a particular pattern to the username and password. So it may be, first initial, last name, or for the username, and then the password may be the last name with their local district student ID or something like that. So that way it's just easier for students to remember what their username and password is when it comes time to take their exam. So you want to get them registered at the Certiport.com website, so that way they're in the system, and want to register as a test taker for Microsoft Office Specialist, so that way they'll be good to go. Then on test day, what you're going to do is when the student comes in, there is an icon on the desktop of the computer that says Console 8. That is the testing software. So the students will come in, or you as the proctor or administrator, if you want to do this ahead of time, you can double click on that icon and allow it to make the changes, and it will open up. And if it's been a while since you last ran updates or since you last used the software, as you can see, it takes a while to load. So then when you get to the home screen here, the student will log in. Let's see if I got that right. I did not. So that's the message that appears if they don't get the right username and password combination. Their screen, when they get to this page, it may look a little different than what you see right here, but it should be pretty close to the same. Now, you as an administrator, when you log in, what you may need to do is check for updates. If there is a green bar down here with a number on it, that means there are updates. So that's why usually we would log in early in the morning that we're going to test, make sure there aren't any updates that we need to download. We'll do that before the kiddos get in. But once they get in and log in, you're going to follow the green rectangles. So this green box right over here that says Practice and Certify, you click on it, and it will load the exams that are available. So you have all of these that you can use the voucher on. And so whichever one you're going to have the student do, so if you're going to do Microsoft Word, they can do that. Their information, their mailing address should show up here. The payment method, we're going to set up, actually we're going to switch. What you're going to do when you click on that little pencil right there on the payment method, you will switch to a voucher, and then they will type in the voucher number that you received and click OK, and it'll change that method of payment. So that's the next thing. After they verify their address, move over, change the payment method to a voucher, put in that voucher number. Don't really need to worry about the exam group. Down here, the purple bars, these are where some other action needs to take place. So they verify the mailing address, you click on that. read and accept the terms of the NDA. That's the non-disclosure agreement. That says they will not take pictures of the exam and post them on the internet, or share information about the exam. So they will need to click on yes, I accept, and then the test proctor, whoever is in the room, will need to come in and click on that checkbox, put in your username and password. If you're a proctor, you should have an account set up in Certiport, and so it's just whatever that is, whatever your username and password, you will click on that, and that will then open up the tutorial part. And it's a short tutorial, just describes to the kiddos how the system works and what's going to be expected of them. And then when they finish that little tutorial, it will go on into the certification exam. And that's pretty much it. Sometimes we have glitches with technology, and if that's the case, you can sometimes shut down the exam, try to log back, get the student to log back in, and it may say that the test is in progress or something like that. So if that were to be the case, we'll log out, and let's say we had to restart. So then when it pops back up, it may have something right up here on the exam that says exam in progress or something like that. Actually, and one other thing you need to check on this first login screen down here at the bottom, it should say the name, or should have the name of your testing location. So whatever site you're at, that's the one that should be on there. Now you'll notice I have several choices to choose from because I am associated with several different districts here in Region 7, but make sure that whatever is showing up here is your school or your site. So if we go back to the practice and certify and click on it, actually this is the page where it will probably show up that you have an exam in progress, whichever one you started a while ago. If you were to have one shut down in the middle of the exam, or your computer freezes, the student computers freeze up or something like that, and you have to log out and they log back in, whichever one they're on, it'll usually have a little orange bar that says in progress. You just click on it and go back through. You should be able to go back to the exam. That's kind of what it looks like and what the testing process looks like. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call, 903-988-6810, or email me at aknight@esc7.net. Thanks. One last thing, when the students finish, when they get to the end, to log out, a couple of ways they can do that. They can click on the little house down here to take them to the home screen, or that little down arrow up there by their name. Just click on log out, and it will be done, and then they can just go up and X out, and they are finished with the exam.